All right. So here we are. We are now moving on to group buys. I just did pretty much the entire lesson for it. I am now just moving on to the first quiz and the second one, and it's gonna be a little bit of more with having and distinct, and then after that, date, and then we'll be wrapping up. Then another set of videos will be there for it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create these all in a playlist so you can just follow through right through them. Unfortunately, in this lesson, they didn't include the ERD, so I just went back into lesson two and just found this. It's just a little bit easier to bounce around and just think about what the problem is asking. So let's go ahead and get started. I also have the solution tab open. Have not checked them out. Not going to do it until I have made my own query and then I'm testing it out. So let's do this. So far, basically, group by just learned it, in addition to the aggregates. So basically, if you have an to start off, if there's a column that is an aggregate, so let's say you have, and just following through on the flow of how the data sets are acquired and processed. So let's say once you have determined which table and which joins you want to get, the whole data set, then let's say if you do have format filtering or constraints that you want to put through, and that you want to test it out against and eliminate the rows, so that will take place in where. Now, after that processing, well, I guess after that filtering, then comes in the order of operation, in the order of execution, group by. And what this really does is the remaining rows that we have the remaining rows we have after the conditional passing, we're now going to group those records according to one or more columns, individual values. So and essentially group them and then present it in that way. So what that looks like is where we're going to be covering this part in these videos. So let's start off by starting off with the first one. So what account by name, actually let's read from here and then we'll just look at this. What account by name place the earliest order? Excuse me. So what account name, okay. So basically what account name placed the earliest order? So just right off the bat, just continuing on with our sequence or order of execution that it actually falls through, I'm going to first gather the entire data set. And what that looks like is gives it away that we have to give the columns that we have to have are the account name and the order and the date of order. This one, mind you, like these exercises, I think they're going to be including joins, groups, and oh no, wait, sorry, scratch that. So let's go ahead and do this. Accounts and set up an alias for that, and then join orders on a dot id equals o dot account id. Right. Now we have to look at what's being asked of us. What account by name place the earliest order? Now, one way would be to let me quickly get the column name so we're going to present. Select. Oh my God, there you go. Dot name and o dot. Sorry, I'm chewing gum. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but just apologizing in advance. O dot occurred at. So that should present us, and let's say if I do order by, without using group by for a second. Now, if we were to do this, which account placed the earliest order? Now, this would essentially be based on O dot occurred at, and that would be the descending order because the earliest to the long to the closest. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me go put it by So I'm so used to running my files. Um, so here we are. That's the solution stub. So I'm going to make a gap so I don't accidentally go on it. So here we are. So this would give us the name and the order. Okay, and then let's go ahead and limit it up because why not? So the name and the earliest that the oh wait, it's actually gonna be ascending actually. It have to be the earliest. So that's then. Now, now the question's actually asking us, yeah, so that's pretty much what I would do, what I could do is just limit it by one, and that presents us that. Now, if I want to use group by, how would that work? Um, which account by name plays the earliest order? Earliest order. Earliest would be minimum. O dot occurred at, and this one looks like, well, I can actually just comment that out for a second, and in this case I can do group by a dot name. So what that basically does is that we have the full data set, and now looking at that, we're going to do a aggregate function on, we're going to aggregate and find the minimum value occurring in this table and as well as that column. So we're going to get the earliest date. Then we want to group it by the name itself, the account name. So which now basically will show us all the account names and as well as all the earliest orders that were placed by that account name and predict. So let's go ahead and check that out. And I guess order by is necessary, I'm assuming. I wonder if that's going to give us issue. Order by. Interesting. So I could have technically done a dot name, and that would have given us, oh, sorry, that would have given us the same thing, but now, right, because now the order is on the name, and it's going to be basically the alpha numerical order. But however, if we were to do I can visualize it, man, because it's being grouped by the names of the account. Therefore, we need to, the column itself is not just the regular occurred at, it's the minimum, showing the minimum order placed by every single account name. So in that case, for instance, that's the, yep, there's no redundant, there are no redundant accounts because it's showing the earliest order placed by each and every account. So what we are basically bound to do is do order by and the minimum showing in these. If we were to do descending, it would show us it would show us the most order by. Nope. Oh, so strange. Right. So now that's going to be ascending, and now descending would have been right, and that would show us the latest order placed by each and every account. Fair.